and welcome back to the Dandelion Diaries. I have some updates today. So I've talked about my common planner a lot on this channel, and it is the planner I'm planning to go into for 2024. Yes, I know it's July and it's a little early to make those decisions, but I did want to pre-order when Sterling Ink offered the pre-order. But I have done something. So this is the cover I have been keeping it in. It is a Galen leather undyed A5 slim. It does fit perfectly in this cover. However, I made the decision to put it back into a clear cover. And the reason why I did this is because I like to keep my planners in clear covers in the long term, and I need to make sure that it can survive being in a clear cover, because I'm not going to be storing it with a leather cover, obviously. I'm going to be reusing my leather covers. So I put it back in the clear cover, which is from Sterling Ink. I did stretch it out. So what I did was I took it out, like just the clear cover by itself, heated it with a hairdryer, and then I pulled it like side to side, wiggled it a little bit just to stretch out the binding space right here, and I feel like it fits a lot better now. It is still very snug, and I may end up taking it back out, stretching it again. We'll see how it goes. But some other updates I wanted to tell you guys is that it's pretty obvious. I put stickers on the front. So I finally committed and put stickers on the front of my planner. I wanted it to kind of match my Hobonichi cousin, since this is the style I have been doing for a couple of years now, and I've been enjoying it. Next year I'll probably change it up though. But I had all of these stickers from the Coffee Monsterz Co., and then I used some glittery washi tape again here. And this glittery washi tape is from Michael's, I think. I got them in a set years ago, and I've just been using them up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're from Michael's. But the other updates I did was on the inside. So I love this. I'm sorry. Every time I open it up, it makes me smile now. So I saw this on Instagram. I don't remember who posted it, unfortunately, so I can't really give credit where credit is due. But if this was you, thank you so much for the idea. I wallpapered my planner or journal, whatever you want to call this. So all this is washi tape. So I took a washi tape that I had from Lila Journals, and I lined it up and just in strips and strips and strips until it was completely covered, and it looks so good. I really love it. The washi doesn't really match up per se for design by stacking it this way, but I think because I picked a neutral washi that was very much a sketch like art, it looks really fine. And then I put her journal print on top, and I think it looks really nice and cohesive. These other stickers are also from her shop, and I wanted to tie in the design from this page onto this page, and again, I think it looks really good. But for today, we are going to be doing the front pages. So I've talked about this with my setup. I had no idea what I wanted to do with these front pages. I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. I didn't know if I wanted to use it as like a routine space. I didn't know if I wanted to use it as like a vision board or index, or have just like a word of the year. There were so many different ideas of what to put here, and I really just couldn't decide. So after much deliberation, I went ahead and decided I was going to do an index on this page and then a vision board on this page. So the reason for the index is because the back pages are numbered, so the page numbers in the back can correlate to whatever I put in the index in the front. And the reason for that is because I don't just have dailies back here, like I have some washi swatches, I have monthly pages, I have package order logs, I have other trackers, and that way when I go to the index in the front, if I want to reference any information later in life, I can just quickly flip to that page in the back. And then the vision board is something that I like to do digitally, and I figured I have the space, I might as well try it out physically on paper and see how I like it. So that is what we are going to be setting up today, is these two pages. So let me take you through my vision board photos. So this is just a piece of paper, sticker paper. It's not vinyl or anything, it's just matte sticker paper. And all I did was I took photos from either Pinterest or Canva or a mix of both. I really don't remember where I got all of these from because I just pretty much copied and pasted the vision board I have on my computer, and I printed them out into an A5 square. So realistically, if I trim these down a little bit more, it should all fit on one page. But I wanted to correlate this with my goals, which I have on the next page. So I've talked about how I don't really want to share my personal goals on here, but I have shared my categories. So I will go ahead and share kind of like how I broke these categories down into photos. So like for spirituality, one of my goals was to be more meditative, more conscious, and get more into my intuition. So I wanted to include a picture of the chakras, which is what, when your body aligns, you can become more enlightened, we'll say. I'll let you read your own research on spiritual stuff. But and then I wanted to include a picture of tarot cards because I have been getting more into tarot recently to help kind of guide me in my intuition, as I've said. For my mental goals, I wanted to do more reading, and I wanted to learn another language. So I've been really trying to learn Spanish this year, which is why I have a picture of 𝗦𝘵𝘆 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗍, and then I have a picture of reading because I want to make sure that I am reading more because I have a massive TBR list that I need to get through, and that is something that I want to accomplish this year. For love, I didn't really include any photos in the vision board just because I like to take photos throughout the year of things that my boyfriend and I do or things that my family and I do, and I like to just have those pictures when they happen. I don't really have a vision board photo of what my love would look like because it's fluid, it changes. I don't need to have something set in stone for that. For wealth, I wanted to just include a picture of money because that's pretty much the easiest picture to come for wealth. But I will say wealth is also in other things like investing. It's in wealth in yourself too. So things that make you wealthier as a human being, not just with money, but with like learning and health and things like that. For work, I wanted to just create the Dandelion Diaries this year, and I have, and I am very happy with the success that I have been having, so thank you all so much for your support. But I wanted to include a picture of kind of a work style setup that's a little bit more minimal because my desk is very messy, and I would love my desk to be just minimal at some point in my life, but for now, that's where we're sticking. And then for physical, I put a picture of a female working out because I do have goals in the physical realm with my running, weightlifting, and other things. Also, I apologize for that beeping. That was my coffee maker. Speaking of, let me take a sip of coffee. And then for my social, I didn't include a picture on here because it's not really something I'm trying to get more of. It's something I'm trying to do less of. So I'm trying to spend less time on social media mostly, and then spend more time physically in person with my friends. So I didn't really have a picture that I wanted to put in a vision board sense, more of just like photos throughout the year of me and my friends doing things, or things that I even see on social media that I think is cool, and that way I have a physical photo of it and I don't have to keep going back to my social media to find it. And then for my last goal, which was inspiration, I mainly wanted this to be more about like my garden, being outside, and travel. I didn't put a travel photo on here just because I don't think that's a realistic goal for me this year specifically, because I would like to travel internationally versus just within the United States, which is where I live. So I wanted to just mainly include pictures of my garden space, and then also herbalism, which is something that I'm trying to get more into. So yeah, that's kind of an explanation of my photos, and what I'm going to do now is cut all of these out, and then we're going to try to arrange them on the page behind this. So there's two ways I could cut this out. I could either use just scissors, or I could use a paper cutter like this. Since these are pretty small, I'm just going to use scissors once I cut them down to the little square, but to start out with, I am going to use this paper trimmer right here. So I technically could stop here and just put this whole sheet into my planner, but I don't like how the page will look if it's all like one piece, if that makes sense. I feel like it's going to make the paper too thick. So I'm going to cut these down into individual sections, and then also I like to layer things, so I may layer them on top of each other. And so you don't have to sit through me cutting these out individually, I will do the power of movie editing, and I will fast forward to the finished section. Ta-da! Okay, so power of editing, right? So I have cut each one individually out and kind of arranged them the way they were already printed on the sheet. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to overlap them slightly for just a few of them. So I'm going to, actually I think I'm going to trim these two down a little bit more and these three down too, just a little bit more, just because I want them to be able to fold with the page. Like I want to be able to turn the page enough to where it's not going to be a problem. Like I don't want the stickers to get caught on the page. So I am going to start at the upper corner here because I want to line it up with the grid. So I'm going to start at the upper corner and then stick these down, and we will go from there. And if you ever couldn't get backing off of sticker paper, I totally feel your pain. And I have tweezers at the ready if I can't seem to get this to separate. So we will see what happens here. So I'm going to scooch all that down a little bit. I'm actually going to do this. So if you ever are afraid to stick something down and you don't want it to be super, super sticky, just run it on the back of your hand a couple of times, and that way it'll be easier to pull up if you mess up. Excellent. All right, and then I'm just going to go continue on here. I'm going to trim this one down a little bit more too. I'm certain I am not the only one who is holding their breath for the 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗁𝐵𝐶𝐵 release in September, but I must say, that is very crooked. I must say that recently I have been really enjoying the Common Planner more than the 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗁𝐵𝐶𝐵. Oh gosh, I'm totally ripping this page. It's okay, because we're just going to stick the sticker right on top of it. But I have been really enjoying the Common Planner over the 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗁𝐵𝐶𝐵, and I think it's mainly because of the freedom aspect. Like, I have the ability to pretty much do whatever I want in this planner, versus in the 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗁𝐵𝐶𝐵, I'm limited to the layouts that they provide, which I will say is not a horrible thing by any means. I think that is very good for when you need more structure, and if you're getting started with planning, or you're branching out into more of like your own style of planning and you like to have monthlies, weeklies, and dailies all in one book. The 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗁𝐵𝐶𝐵 is perfection in my opinion. But if you are a little bit more artistic, or you like to be a little bit more creative, I think the Common Planner is a better choice, just because it allows more freedom in space to do what you want in the different pages it has. Because like the 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗁𝐵𝐶𝐵 only has those structured pages in the back, and like dailies, and then also the little graphs and things, versus the Common Planner has blank pages. You can literally use them for literally whatever you want. And then to save you guys from my rambling, I am going to just kind of cut this straight to when I have all of them stuck down. because you kind of understand, or I hope you understand the thing I'm going for here is just kind of making them in a little grid pattern. I may overlay some of them, and I've just printed these photos pretty much from the computer, and I think they will work just fine for what I'm wanting to do here. Alright, so now that I have all of these kind of laid down, you may be able to tell that this page is kind of flipping up a little bit. So all I'm going to do to kind of help that relax is take a clip and just clip it down for the time being. Once you close the book, it should help the paper kind of settle back down, especially if you put it on underneath like heavier books. It'll help the papers kind of flatten back out. I'm not too worried about it, considering, I mean, I'm kind of seeing how much this planner can take at this point. Anyways, let's move on to the index side. I'm not going to take you through the whole indexing process because we would be here for at least 30 minutes of me flipping back and forth between the back pages and the front page, but I will show you kind of how I am going to do it with a few things. Just know that it will be a continued list after, you know, more things get added into the back of the planner. But all I'm going to do here is I'm going to label the top index. And this is a Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen in the soft tip. And then I'm going to take my ruler and a gray fine liner. You could use pencil if you want. I like the fine liner because it is permanent and I can't accidentally erase it. And then all I'm going to do here is just kind of draw a space and then another section here. So this front section that's covered up by the ruler will be the page numbers, and then the one to the other side, so like page numbers here, and then this side will be the description. I can always go back in and add a second column if I need to. I don't plan on writing super wide over here, but I only think I'm going to need this much space just because I don't plan on adding too many more things to the back other than daily pages. But you never know, some things I may add eventually, but I'll show you kind of what I'm going to be doing. So I'm just taking this is a Pentel Energel Klena in, I think it's the Kawaii, I don't remember which version is it. It's in one of my old videos. I'll try to mark it in the cards for you. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the start of my daily pages, quote unquote. The blank notebook pages is what we really should be calling it. And I'm going to start with page number 1. So page number 1 is my adulting log and my date night log. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a number 1, and I'm going to put date /adult log. And then I'm going to go back to the pages back here. And I'm going to flip through the next page, which is my running log. So we're going to say page number 2 is my running log. But when we go back to the back pages again, my running log takes up more than one page. So it takes up 3 pages. So then I go to page number 5, which is where my next log starts, which is my workout log. So then I'm going to put down a number 5 and workout log. And I'm going to continue this on basically through everything that I have in the back, and then I'll show you kind of like what the finished product is, because if, like I said, if I took you through every single section, we would be here for an hour. Okay, so I have finished the logging of everything in the back, and I'm only to page 64 in the notes pages. Granted, I have only been in this in 2 months, so I've only, well, 3, so May, June, and now July. I'm pretty happy with the amount of pages I've used up. Obviously, if I were to do like a page a day, there's 370 notes pages, if I'm correct. Yeah, so there's 369 notes pages. I could easily do a page a day. For consideration with that, 3 months worth would be 90 pages, and I haven't even gotten close to that. So I'm happy with my progress. That is all I'm going to be doing for the setup of the front pages. I may go back and, like I said, add that second column here if I feel like I need it, but as of right now, I think I'm going to be good with just the one column. But we'll see how this goes when we get closer to December, when I'm going to be finishing up with this planner. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments, or if there's another section in this book you'd like me to go over, I will do my best. Like I said, I'm not really comfortable with the goals one just yet, maybe next year. But if there's any other section, I'd be happy to kind of take you through my process of what I did. But let me know what you think in the comments. Again, thank you guys so much for your support and for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.